99%. Oh, we can't have that. There, that's better. 100%. I do it for you guys, man. I do it for you guys. My people, this event, this saga of brawlers peeing in pools is coming to a close. As I'm recording this video, as you guys can see, we have 13 hours and 53 minutes left to vote for the brawler that you think is the culprit peeing in the pool. And if you haven't done this already, make sure to do it at least just today so you guys can get your hands on that free Pierce box. And I do want to throw out here, I'm getting this video out really late because I've been racking my head around this morning forever the significance of this event. I'm being tugged in two ways, I feel like. Is it a sneak peek or a fun Easter egg for this 100th brawler coming around the corner? Or is it this just random event going on right now? Because to be completely honest, towards the end of this event, I was assuming that the vote would mean a little bit more, but that's not the case. You can literally vote for anyone you want. It doesn't matter. I've seen so many people over on Reddit trying to figure out who the actual culprit is, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. You vote for whoever you want and you get the box. Basically, my way of thinking, if we are voting and trying to figure out who this culprit is, what is the significance of voting correctly? I don't know if I'm alone in feeling strange about that. I just had a hard time with it this morning. I don't know why. So I guess at this point, we're just waiting for the conclusion or the wrap up of this to see if there's any more significance to it. But hopefully you guys got lucky out of your Pierce box. I saw a few screenshots of people out there collecting their final Pierce box from this so they could get them for free by default, which is really cool. But yeah, I feel like just in general, this whole thing was a good time. And I'm really hoping that it amounts to something a little more than just a community event or something funny here for the release for Pierce. Now, of course, with this episode 3 of this ongoing saga was posted here just recently, and it's a pretty fun watch. I would say my favorite thing about it is we're getting quite a bit more of a look-see as to what this guy is looking like, right? The culprit. What I thought at the beginning of all this might have been the 100th brawler, but I just don't know how this is all going to turn out. It's hard to say, and I'm super confused on it. Also, side note, it is now lore that Pierce's final shot that deals more damage is literally his urine. But it ends off on another cliffhanger as Pierce does the final blow. They get him into custody and they leave us guessing as to who the brawler is going to be, which I'm assuming will be updated on in like a part 4 or like a wrap up on the Brawl Stars death team side of things in game of like who the brawler or who the culprit would be. But yeah, man, I would love to know what you guys are thinking. Is this going to shape up to being something more significant for a sneak peek for the 100th brawler, which I was very certain that it would be here? Or do you think it's just, you know, a fun thing for Pierce? Let me know, because I can't tell at this point. Another thing kind of set me in a weird direction here was a reply that Frank ended up posting here today in reply to a guy saying, I don't think pee jokes are funny for anyone under 5. And he ends up saying it was a fun event, tons of people engaged very nicely with it. I think the timing wasn't ideal. But then we had locked in Pierce as the brawler for this update a while ago, and sometimes you just gotta roll with it. It's like Frank's saying the timing wasn't ideal with this event. Would that mean or imply that the 100th brawler isn't being sneak peek here? Because I would assume that they want this to be like a really hype rollout for the 100th brawler. If not, the hype around it or the success of the brawler in the game isn't going to be that great. And now that I think about it, I don't know if like the rollout of a 100th brawler will do very well with like a pee joke event going on. I don't know. But yeah, dude, I'm still super confused about all of this. Let me know what you guys are thinking. We'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. But I suppose before we move along from this community event dialogue here in this episode today, I ended up stumbling across this dude over on Twitter, and he made up a really good cheat sheet for all the rewards that we were able to get from this dialogue event, the investigation. So if you guys didn't get any of the rewards here, or if you missed out on 1 or 2 of them, make sure to go back and get them. Take a screenshot so you don't miss out on anything. Again, we do still have like 13 hours to have the interrogations still and collect these rewards. So if you missed out, don't worry, you can get them still. But seeing that we talked about the 100th brawler yet again here in this episode, we do have a little bit more fun speculation in that vein, which possibly could be one of the sneakiest or most unique leak or like Easter egg for this 100th brawler. This has definitely never happened before. A lot of people noticed in the catalog, there's a strange thing going on with the sprays. If you click on the spray and you scroll all the way down, there is 4 identical gem with a crown and sunglass spray at the very bottom. This is an exact duplicate of one of the very first sprays that was made in the game, right? Introduced. So the theory or the speculation right now inside of the community is these are just placeholders for the eventual 100th brawler sprays coming along, which I guess makes kind of sense seeing that all the newest sprays are at the very bottom. While at the same time, it's not a bug, I wouldn't say, because you can literally buy every single one of these sprays here. I did it to confirm it. I wasted a good amount of bling in order to figure this out or confirm it, but you indeed can. Every single one is a separate transaction. If it were just like a visual bug popping up, I would assume if you just bought one, you wouldn't be able to get it, or you just couldn't get it at all. Once you own this spray, you can't buy it again. So seeing that they're all purchasable in the game, I would assume like the code itself, it's reading that each of these are different sprays. So people are thinking that it's a placeholder for the sprays for the 100th brawler coming around the corner, which I guess kind of makes sense if you ask me. What do you guys think about that? I think it's really, really interesting. I guess, you know, it also brings up a funny little issue here, or potential. If these sprays turn into something different, what's going to happen with these? Am I just going to have 4 gems with sunglasses forever on my account? Or are these going to like switch into something different once they are released? I don't know. But with all of that craziness out of the way, I thought I was going crazy this morning, which I think I still am. I just need to know what this thing is all about. Your boy, Detective Ray, can't do his job. I feel useless. It's so hard to know what's going on. But let's set that aside until we get answers. Moving along to other important stuff. If you guys are a fan of the Christmas skins, all the older ones, they're running really, really cheap deals right now in the game for all of them. If your account is much like one of my minis here, you might not end up noticing it, seeing that they're all the way in the freaking back. So if these skins are important to you, I thought I'd let you guys know, seeing that these are pretty exclusive. They only come around during Christmas. But speaking of Brawl Day skins, I also wanted to mention this here in the episode today as well, because a lot of people have been talking about the lack of Brawl Days skins here in this update, and I think that's safe to say, seeing that I think we only got one, and that's for the Nani skin that we should have been able to collect for free by now. But people ended up discovering that there were already created cosmetics for skins that weren't released. So it is assumed or speculated upon by people in the community that these were scrapped skins. But there was one for Jay Young there, a profile icon as well as a pin. He looks freaking decked out in the Christmas getup, man. That's crazy. Yeah, I wonder why they scrapped it. I think we could have used a little bit more of the Brawl Day skins, seeing that we only had one. I think the more the merrier, you know what I'm saying, with all this stuff. But then finally, I wanted to save the, like, I guess, negative portion of news. I'm not trying to be negative out here inside the BrawlStar's community, man. But a lot of people were a bit disappointed with how quickly the free rewards for Brawl Days ended up shutting down. There was no like grace period on the final reward, and by design, right, it was meant to end during Christmas, but it ended during a time where everyone, I would assume, was like really, really busy, right? If you had any plans with family and stuff like that, most people, you know, wouldn't really pick up Brawl Stars on those days. I know I sure didn't. I didn't get the Nani skin, which is kind of unfortunate. I would love to know if that affected you guys as well. I was assuming that there'd be a little bit of a grace period on that Nani skin, like just staying in the shop for a couple days, much like some other shop offers, but it was gone pretty dang quick. But yeah, man, that's just about all I got for you guys here in this episode today. I wanted to step in one day before I believe we'll be getting answers about this ongoing story of who's peeing in the pool. Is it going to amount to anything? Who knows? I should say, like, lore-wise about this 100th brawler. Always love to hear what you guys are thinking, especially in ones where I'm like freaking stumped as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching so much. Hopefully you all had a wonderful Christmas if you do celebrate, and we'll be talking super soon. I'm assuming tomorrow. Love y'all. Take care.